Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Kindness Habit. When you leave today, you're going to understand how AI can really help us be kind to ourselves, but also allow us to have more time to do other things that bring us joy and recharge us. Our guest today is someone that I've known for years. I have so much respect for him. He was a futurist for Intel. He's been in my mastermind group for years and gives us a lot of insight about what's going on. And now he's really focused on AI and the power of AI. So, Steve, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to hear your insights. And I remember when we first started talking about AI is as simple as what Netflix tells us to watch. So I don't think a lot of people even know like what AI actually is. So can we
Yeah,
just start off by you kind of introducing yourself, telling us what you do, why you have so much passion for AI, and then kind of explain how AI can help us, but also what it is.
sure. Well, it's nice to see you in this is a professional context. I'm used to hanging out with you,
I
and we get to do
know.
something worky, which is very exciting. So I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me to join your podcast.
Yes.
So Steve Brown, I have been in high tech for 30 years. I had a good head of hair when I started. I spent a lot of time at Intel. I worked at DeepMind in London, which is Google's AI research labs, which was a thrill of an experience. Such lovely people.
Mhm.
One of their, by the way, they have five corporate values. As I recall, it was mission driven, collaborative, pioneering, responsible, very important, and then kind. And they live that every day. I came from Intel, right? I got a bit of PTSD because, people have some sharp elbows there. It's a
Right.
competitive culture. And I
Mhm.
kept waiting for the other shoe to drop and to find out that someone was actually being two-faced and mean. But no, everybody is delightful there.
Oh, how
So they really do
refreshing.
value kindness at DeepMind deeply in their corporate culture. So I help companies to build an AI transformation strategy. AI is going to change every company, every organization on the planet,
Mhm.
and I help them on that journey. So I have a deep background in tech, but I also am able to explain technology, particularly AI, in normal people speak. So
Mhm.
that's what I do for a living. So you said, what is AI?
Mhm.
We all use it every day, even if we don't realize it. If you get a credit report, the AI is figuring that out. If you're, like you said, if you're using Netflix, the
Mhm.
recommendation engines, and when you're doing online shopping as well. So if you
Mhm.
go on Amazon or any of those sites and it says, if you buy this, other people might like this,
Mhm.
or an outfit, this belt would go really well with that. All that goes with stuff is all the big fat AI,
Mhm.
classic machine learning. And then it's obviously caught everybody's attention since the arrival of ChatGPT, which I'm so tired of hearing about, but I think we all are actually. Um, but that's got everybody's interest because it's a new type of AI called generative AI, which is able to create open-ended output. So
Mhm.
you can talk to it, it will reply. So
Mhm.
text in, text out. You can create images, so text in images out,
Mhm.
text in video out,
Mhm.
video in, text out, so it will subtitle things for you.
Mhm.
It will capture what's in a video. So, it's quite a breakthrough technology that is going to transform the way that we all work.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, yes. And I already have a lot of my clients who are using it. Specifically, I had some clinicians who wrote really long emails and they would cut and paste, obviously the information that was safe to share, but in Chat GPT, and it would really reduce it, bullet points, and
Yeah,
really it was kind to the other people who was reading their emails because their emails were so long. So I know that Chat GPT as well. Would you consider Grammarly also AI, or would that
absolutely.
be
Yeah,
okay? So that's also a tool. And the reason I wanted you to point that out, because I think a lot of people are so scared or like intimidated of AI, but really we're all using it every single day. You even told us in our mastermind group that there was like a big dating AI, like, right? Didn't people have like AI boyfriends and girlfriends?
yeah. There's a few websites that specialize in doing that. It's funny. There's a story about, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. The major company behind it, Replicant, uh, they were they were finding that they hadn't put any filters on it
Mm.
to stop saucy speak.
Oh
So
my.
people were having these quite erotic conversations with their
Oh.
AI boyfriend or girlfriend online, and they decided to put an end to that because they were getting a lot of criticism externally. And so they put guide rails on. and they had 60,000 people that I think complained that basically said, "You lobotomized my girlfriend."
Oh my
And they
God.
chose to do it on February the 14th, which was hilarious.
Oh, break
But
up
yeah,
the.
there are quite a few AIs out there. I mean, we have an epidemic of loneliness at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And there are quite a few AIs that are designed just to be friends, to help
Mm-hmm.
people. There's actually, I write an AI newsletter every week to help people who are interested stay up to date, called Synthetic. And
Mm-hmm.
I've had a story this week, and it's about this AI company called Friend.ai. And they're creating this necklace. And it's a $99 necklace. There's no subscription you pay.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't come out until early next year. But it's sort of it becomes part of your life and it talks to you and just, it encourages you, coaches you, gives you feedback. And it does that by texting you. So it just texts your phone. So you can privately just check and, see a comment that's come
Right.
from your friend, which is an interesting idea. I'm interested to see what's going to be the first breakthrough AI device and
Mm-hmm.
something that brings a little bit of extra kindness to people's lives, builds their confidence, helps them
Mm-hmm.
through difficult situations. I think it's quite a lovely application of it.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I think I was mentioning to you on Snapchat, my daughters do Snapchat, there's also an AI person there that can talk to you. So going back to the loneliness piece, it definitely is serving a purpose, to really get that positive message, feedback, whatever you need that day from different sources. Besides ChatGPT, which I know again, my clients have used that to be kind to themselves just to help them. But also, I've heard from a couple of my leaders, they're like, but people need to like modify the chat GPT because they can tell that
Yeah,
it's kind of like when you used to copy the cliff notes, for your book reports. It's just like we can kind of tell it's chat GPT. But
right.
when you look at people's lives and tools that they can use that give them either more time or also just really reducing our stress and being kind, is there anything, I know that you do so much research on this, what would you tell us to check out, to use, and not to be
Yeah.
scared of, to actually give it a try?
I mean, ChatGPT is a good start. Yeah, I, I write a lot of stuff. I write blogs, I write newsletters. I refuse to use ChatGPT to write them. I want to have an AI newsletter that's written for humans by a human, me. So
Hmm.
I write it all.
Right.
But I use Grammarly quite extensively because I write in quite a verbose way. I'm British, we use lots of words,
Hmm.
and that's not what I need in a newsletter. So it really helps me to tighten it down, as you mentioned. I also
Hmm.
think that these tools mean that it's the end of writer's block because
Hmm.
we've all faced a blank page and thought, oh, what am I going to write now? Having a quick conversation with an AI like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini,
Hmm.
um, it can help you come up with an outline, develop some ideas. It's great as a research tool. So if you're
Hmm.
trying to learn about something, it's a fantastic tutor.
Hmm.
Just to get you started and point you to some resources. I particularly like a product called Perplexity.
Hmm.
Perplexity is a bit like ChatGPT and Google have a baby. So you can have a conversation with it, but it is an excellent search tool that is up to date on all that's happening on the web. So I wanted to buy a car last year and I gave it some parameters and told it to go and read Car and Driver magazine and Edmunds reports, whatever that. And it came back with a recommendation and reasons, pros and cons for all the different cars.
Hmm.
So it was great.
Oh, interesting. Oh my gosh, I loved what you just said too about the blank page, because there are so many times when we do need help, and even in our personal life. I remember using it to have a conversation about moving my dad into assisted living.
Mm,
Um, I may have used it for a breakup or two, I don't know, but like it really does, like
Allison.
it gives us information,
Yeah.
but also that feedback that you can do, plus research to buy a car or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm struggling to find the right words, or
Mhm.
I've got this long run-on sentence, and I have Grammarly just running in the background, and it will say, "Why don't you say it this way?" and recut it, and I think that's a much better way of saying it. And then
Exactly.
I tweak it a little bit to make it in my voice still, but
Right.
yeah, I kind of think of it as being kind to myself. Why make it hard?
Hmm.
Make life easy with myself with these tools.
Exactly. And then there's also, people do talk about being worried about AI taking over their jobs. And what I loved what you just said, that it was a human writing a human newsletter. What advice would
Mhm.
you have for people? There are obviously some jobs that will be taken away by AI,
Yeah.
but what advice would you have for people to not have that fear and really have more confidence in their own difference that they're making?
Yeah, I mean, I speak at events around the world, and the number one question I get during Q&A, and I always do extensive Q&A because the
Mm.
things that come out of my mouth tend to prompt questions,
Right.
is some version of what do I need to do to become robot proof? And if
Mm,
not for somebody personally, but what do I need to tell my kids? What do I need to tell my grandkids? How do I ensure that they're able to thrive and remain relevant in this potentially highly AI automated workplace of the
mm,
future? So what I tell them is a couple of things. Firstly, be curious. You know, be curious, try this stuff out. I think back to my early days starting in the workforce and having to learn how to use what back then was WordPerfect and Lotus 123,
oh yeah.
a word processor in a spreadsheet. Now it's Excel or Google Workplace. And we have to learn how to use those to do work.
Hmm.
We're going to have to learn how to use AI to
Hmm.
help us get our jobs done and be more productive. And that
Hmm.
requires a sense of curiosity. Try out Perplexity, try out ChatGPT, Claude. There are apps you can download for your phone and just try them out.
Hmm.
So it starts with curiosity. And then I think the other thing is to double down on your humanity.
Hmm.
There are skills that we have, strengths that humans have. And you can look at what things are AIs better at, what things are humans better at, what things are robots better at. And there's still quite a lot in the human column.
Hmm.
And things will
Hey.
eventually move to other columns, but there'll
Yep.
still always be things in the human column.
Yep.
And so double down on your humanity, the
Mm.
things that make you you, your communication skills, your interpersonal skills, creativity, problem solving skills, the things that differentiate you, at least today, from a machine.
Good. I love that advice. Thank you. You mentioned before that you help a lot of companies. I know that you do a lot of keynotes all around the world. Could you also let the listeners know as far as what resources you provide and what you do, and then also how to get in touch with you? Because this is, again, such a hot topic, and people, every business that I work with is talking about this and incorporating it into their culture.
Yeah, companies need a lot of help because they're trying to figure out how do they stay relevant in the marketplace and also how do they use AI to boost their productivity so they don't get behind. Because
Hmm.
there's an urgent race that's now on, right, to embrace AI in a way that is um, takes advantage of all the opportunities but mitigates the risks of implementing AI. So I help with that. If you do need help with that sort of thing, Steve Brown is me. SteveBrown.ai is my website, so nice and easy to remember.
Hmm.
If you're interested in my newsletter, which comes out weekly, it's free. It's written in, I hope, normal people speak. So
It is. I read it.
lots of people seem to read it and enjoy it. You can sign up for that at synthetic.stevebrown.ai. And what I offer a range of different keynotes. I do a lot of work with boards and management teams and leadership teams at companies.
Hmm.
I'd also rank and file. So I do a range of keynotes to help people understand what AI is and what they can use it for the business for, what the different types are, because there are lots of different flavors. And then you have to figure out what flavor of AI do we need to solve this type of business problem. So I help them with that kind of mapping. And then I offer AI workshops. So I can spend a couple of days with a company and
Hmm.
we will generate use cases, understand their business deeply, help them understand AI, and then we generate lots of ideas for how they might use AI to solve real business problems for their customers, elevate their employees' performance, streamline operations, that sort of thing. So that's what I do. That's me.
I love it. Okay, good. Well, it sounds like our advice to the listeners is, of course, always be kind to yourself. But also, what I heard you say is be curious and check out some of these tools because we really do need to invest in ourselves to stay
Mhm.
competitive. But also, don't be scared of AI. Be curious. I love just switching the mindset because when we do, you're going to find that you're going to save time, but also you're going to get to use these tools in a different way that's going to give you more time and also reduce your stress.
And one last idea to share with you.
Yes.
When you're using these tools, it turns out if you are kind to them,
Yes.
you get better results.
Ooh.
It's bizarre, but if you talk to these things and just demand stuff, you'll get an answer. If you talk to the AI politely, and I always do because I'm British, so if I'm asking it to make a picture, I'll always use, please, can you make me an image of? And
Right.
then if you say things like, it's really important to me that you get this right, and that you do it this way and this way and this way, it's more likely to give you the results that you want. So when you talk to these AIs, be kind to them. You'll get better results. The same way as if you talk to humans kindly, you're also going to get better results.
I love it. So kindness is contagious everywhere, AI and with humans. Well, thank you so much, Steve. It's so fun to see you, but also give people these tools to make their life even better and also to be kinder to themselves. So thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. Great to see you.